What's going on, guys? In this video, we're talking about the 5 things to make her wildly attracted, borderline obsessed. And I want to preface something. Use all of these things in good faith. I tell you guys on this channel a lot of powerful tools that you can use to attain what you want to attain in dating, whether you want to date that girl or marry that girl, whatever, find a good girl, etc. And I don't want you to manipulate and really just be a shit person with this information. It's that powerful. It's really that powerful. It's like the sales skills that you want to use ethically, because if you don't, you'll just scam people. I don't want you doing that in the dating world or to women. Have ethics. Use the information for good to get the relationship or the women, the multiple women, whatever it is that you want, but in a ethical way. So let's start off by saying the first thing that we want to talk about is your dosage of attention. And so if you really understand women, you understand that attention to them it's intoxicating. It's like a drug. It's why social media has really done a number on a lot of women, because they are addicted to the attention they get for such a low effort, right? They post an image, you don't have to do anything to get a ton of attention. And so it's a very addicting, dopamine driven, literally on a neurological level, something they're very drawn to. It's like the studies they did with the cocaine and the mice, right? Like cocaine over food. The mice would go for the cocaine. And it's very similar in this scenario with women and attention. And your attention that you give them should be in doses. It should be finite. It should not be infinite. And so there's different ways that men can give attention to women, obviously, right? You obviously have the physical attention, you have the verbal attention, you have the financial attention where you're rewarding them and you're giving them resources, not maybe like writing them checks, but experiences, right? There's all these different ways that you can show attention and give attention to a woman. And so women always want something that is never in excess. That's kind of human nature to begin with and human psychology. But nobody likes excess, right? You could love chicken wings. I put 1,000 fucking chicken wings in front of you. Suddenly, they're just okay. This is particularly true with the female mind, with women. And so a lot of guys approach it like this. A lot of guys think too rationally, think 2, 1 plus 1. They like a girl. They want to show her how much they like her because they like her. And they show way too much attraction killed. You OD'd her. You gave her 1,000 chicken wings, bro. Nobody wants 1,000 chicken wings. I don't care how good they are. You only have such a limit to your appetite. And the same goes with her desire for attention. Too much is not good. And so you need to have the mental frame of I'm going to in small doses give her attention. I'm going to give it some here, give it some there, but I also need to be conscious and aware of when to pull back and when to not give any attention. And women fish for this, right? So let's say you're talking to a girl. You've been talking to her for a couple weeks, and she posts a pretty, like a damn near thirst trap. Okay, let's say she looks really good. She posts a gym selfie, etc. Don't give her any attention. You're also going to stand out this way. If you're one of those guys that's just liking everything, commenting, DMing the picture to her, replying to stories, you're now in the bucket of the fan club, and now you're giving her 1,000 chicken wings. That's going to be the example for this entire premise. Now you're giving her 1,000 chicken wings. Nobody wants your attention should be more valuable than that, and it should be more scarce, and it should be much more rare. And so a great attention to give her is in person. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to get there eventually. But the premise of point number 1 is you want to be giving it in doses, and you want to be giving it in ways that are more unique than the fan club. Number 2 is the possibility of commitment. So there's typically 2 types of guys on both ends of the spectrum. There's guy number 1 that's a complete fuckboy appeal. She knows from the very beginning it's going to go nowhere. Other end of the spectrum is the guy that is, I will marry you right now. That's a simp, right? And so you have this spectrum of commitment, essentially. And both are very predictable, which is why they don't work, and which is why they're not very interesting. Women love to live in la la land. They love the fantasy. They love the story. They love the magicness of unpredictability. And la la, the best way I can describe it is like a la la fantasy land. And both options, even though she would prefer the fuckboy, are not in la la land. They're in concrete world. They're in actual reality. And there's no intrigue. There's no spice to that because it's very predictable. And so this is how you want to position and frame yourself as somebody that has like the possibility of commitment. When a woman is most interested in you, it's always when she doesn't know what's going to happen next, right? That unpredictability. I talk about this on my channel a lot. This mystery, this unpredictability. And if you're talking to a girl for a couple of months and you're showing signs of this could go further, this could not. The door is open, right? The door has to be open, but cracked. Not locked, not wide open, but just cracked a little bit to where she can see the light of a life with you and of potential with you, so long as that's what you want, but also she doesn't know for sure. She doesn't know for sure. And so what that looks like in terms of your behavior is you're not saying to her, I want to be more serious. Where do you want to take this? Meet my family, blah, blah, blah. That is way on the other end of the spectrum, right? That's the guy that is like, marry me now. And that's overwhelming for women. That's way too much. A really good frame of reference is to be more nonchalant than she is. You want to be less emotional, right? And you want to be leading with behavior and with a plan and not with emotion, right? That's a big distinction. And so on the other end of the spectrum in terms of behavior, that could be like hitting her up once a month, hitting her up once every few weeks, yo, wid, right? And so obviously that guy doesn't really care, but then you're trying way too hard to be on the other end of the spectrum. So long as obviously you want to be a little bit more serious with this girl. If it's just a roster girl, whatever, it's your prerogative. But if you do want to progress the relationship forward, that behavior is going to put you in the playboy bucket, and she knows there's going to be zero chance of any possible progression. You want to be in between, okay? You want to be in between the here's a ring and wid at 11 p.m. And so you do this by not really bringing up the conversation, but you entertain it, right? You talk about the future a little bit, but you don't talk about it in a serious way. So you're not going to talk about getting married, but you might talk about a trip that you guys could take together. That's very interesting. And that kind of insinuates a little bit more seriousness without going out and saying, I want to do this with you and be very serious with you. You see the difference? It's the tonality and it's the way of which you go about things. Because when you're in that limbo stage of, you know, we're something, but we're not something, that's when women are most interested. They love that. They love La La Land. They love fantasy. They love seeing the picture of what something could be. And so you want to give them that in your conversations, in your attention, in everything. Number 3, what makes women very, very attracted to you is a man with a plan. And this goes beyond her. You have to understand, women are emotionally unstable. They're wrecks. They're everywhere, right? They are the last person to have a plan. They're the last person that wants to think of anything. They want things done for them. They want the least amount of anxiety and stress possible, because that's the world they live in. They live in a world of anxiety and stress. They're very emotional, right? They're on the roller coaster. And so by nature, to balance them out, they want a man with a plan. They want a man that knows what he wants. They want a man that is firm on his beliefs. They want a disciplined man. And so let me give you some examples of being the man with the plan that goes well beyond women, although it does apply to women. Women want a guy that knows what he wants out of life. Career, himself, you as in the girl. And so let's talk about yourself. Do you have a 3, 5-year, 10-year plan for your life? If you don't have one after this video, this is going to help you regardless of women. Write one down. Don't be afraid to dream big. But you need some sort of plan, because in conversation, women want to bet on the horse, aka the man, that is going to be progressing, that has a future, right? Women bet on your future. Men analyze a woman's past. And so if you don't have a plan bigger than today, something you're working towards, even if it's just your job, you want to move up, right? It doesn't have to be massive, but you need some sort of direction and vision for your life. When you can show and articulate that to women, that you do have a plan and you do have something that you're working towards, they are very attracted to that, because that equals stability. That equals them being safe, being provided for, being protected. That is what that equals to them. To you, it equals a better life. To them, it equals less stress, less anxiety. They do most things in life to move away from pain. That's human beings in general, but specifically for women, they move away from pain. And the pain to them is uncertainty, anxiety, stress. They move away from that. And a man with a plan is them moving away from that in real time. So they love that, about his career, about anything. But it also applies to how you see women. And so if you know what you like from a woman, which you should, if you don't, think about it because it's very important, you should have an understanding of what you're looking for in terms of her behavior, her looks. They want a man with a plan in every regard. And they want a man with a plan when it comes to how they should behave. They want to be told more or less by a man they respect and love what is expected of them. They really do. They don't want to be uncertain. They want to know exactly how they should behave to please you. That is the female in the male dominant feminine nature in a nutshell. And so, but if you don't know how they should behave, then you don't have a plan, you lack certainty. And so now they're in this place of uncertainty, they don't know how to behave, and things can go awry. And so we need to have a really good understanding of how we want them to behave around us, how we want to be treated, what we expect from them. We're the ones with discernment, okay? We are the leaders. We are the ones driving this forward. And women look for that. And so if you don't know what you're looking for in terms of looks, if you don't know what you're looking for in terms of behavior, you need to. What do you want from a woman? What do you want her to look like? How do you want her to behave? What kind of temperament? And so in the beginning stages when you're talking to a woman, you want to vocalize these things. Not as I want you to do this, but as this is what I love from a woman. Be honest. Be honest. Stand in your position, right? Hold your ground. Be bold. Women are very attracted to that. And the more she respects you and the more she likes you, she will become that person. Because when a woman truly loves you, they exist to please you. They exist to be your right hand, your female. And so a man with a plan is very important. Now this is number 4. Leveraging mystery and silence. This ties into restricting attention, but we really want to play on the hot and cold with women. And so women love not knowing everything. They love being in this world of mystery. They want certainty, but they don't want to know everything. It's yin and yang, right? They're very yin and yang emotional people. And so this ties into silence and leveraging silence as well. This is a combined mystery and silence into one. If you're in conversation, a lot of men are not confident enough to just shut up and not speak in conversation, especially early on, right? Let's say you're on a date with a girl and there's a moment of silence. Just have a sip of your drink. Have a sip of your drink. They can tell when you're pressed and feeling insecure and nervous to make conversation. They know these things. What you need to understand as a man is they are equal, if not 100% more nervous than you are. So you have to be the relaxed one. You have to be the poised one. And silence is a great indicator of self-esteem and confidence. The insecure man, I'm sure you've heard this, but the insecure man is the man that does all the talking, is the loudest in the room. That's the expression. You never want to be that person. You want to have enough confidence in your energy and your presence to just sit in the silence. Who cares? Doesn't matter. You're unfazed. If you're fazed by silence, then you're going to be fazed by everything else in the world, and that tells to her you're not going to protect her. That's the deep psychology behind it. And so leverage this. If she's talking, don't interject. If she's going on about something, let it be. If you're watching a show, shut up. Really, really leverage your silence and really don't give her everything she wants to know. Leave things up to interpretation. It's okay if you don't text her every night. It's really okay. It's actually a good thing. You want to be mysterious. She should go to bed some nights not really knowing what you're up to. That's totally okay. But nobody says you have to do that, okay? I know it's ingrained in your mind. I have to text her every morning and every night or else she's going to leave me or she's not going to like me. It's just hardwired. It's not something that's necessary. And if you can be consistent with a little bit of inconsistency to show mystery, she's going to appreciate that. Of course, she'll never say this. And this is something where a lot of men get tripped up. Because they're like, well, she's telling me she wants me to communicate more. She's telling me that she wants to know more. When you follow her lead, when you do things she says she wants you to do, that is when you get crushed. Follow your own instincts. Be mysterious. Number 5, playful dominance. This is the art of hot and cold. This is the art of giving them an emotional experience when they're with you that they can't get anywhere else. This is seduction. This is emotional attraction in a nutshell. So there will always be a man better looking than you. There will always be a man richer than you. There will always be a man more charismatic than you. Always. Right? Basically fucking always. I don't care who you are. And so it goes beyond your tangible things you provide. It goes beyond your resources. It's how you make her feel when she's with you. You want to make her feel with your banter, with your playfulness, with your assertiveness, that she has a level of comfort and a level of happiness and giddiness emotionally she cannot get anywhere else. And this is social skills. This is how you handle yourself. But essentially with your behavior, you want to tease her. You want to be assertive. You want to be able to make decisions. You want to be able to lead. But you also want to make her feel really giddy and really feminine and laugh. And it's the duality. And this is really coming down to psychology and how you carry yourself as a man. Because if you can give her that, if you understand playful dominance, I have a longer video on this on my channel if you want to check it out. If you really understand playful dominance, the hot and the cold, the push, the pull, the joke, the playful insult, the laugh, the assertiveness, this is something that if you master, they will be addicted to you. This is all they want. They want the feeling with you they can't get anywhere else. They want to feel like whenever they're with you, their emotional and psychological feeling is safety, it's passion, it's interesting. And as soon as you're gone, they don't have it and they want more of it. That is the whole premise of addiction. Right? Like when they're with you, they love it. When you're gone, now they're trying to fill that void and you're the only one that can fill it. It's positioning yourself in a very unique place, a very interesting place where if she's not with you, she can't get anywhere else. She looks at other guys and she's just uninterested. She looks at other guys and be like, it's not the same. That's the exact premise you want. When she says to herself with other men, it's not the same, you got her. She is addicted. She is obsessed. And you do this by going up and down with her emotions. Hot, cold, hot, cold. Not manipulation in a way that is like deceptive, but in a way of which you behave around her. You're cuddling her, but you're teasing her. Small example, right? It's the hot and the cold, it's the push and the pull. Because you need to make her addicted to you. To where you're gone, bye, see you later. She leaves, she's craving you. That's the entire premise of this video. If you do everything I just laid out ethically, she will, every second you're not with her, think, I want to be with him. Where is he? I need this void filled. I need this feeling that I got with him. Because without him, I don't have this feeling. And my life is less because of it. Use this ethically because it's very powerful. I also have a free guide on female manipulation and dating frames down below for free in my Telegram with a bunch of behind the scenes stuff that no one else sees because this is the best dating channel in the world. This is the real honest truth. I'm not regurgitating red pill talking points. I'm literally telling you from years of experience what to do with women to make them addicted to you. I'll see you in the next